Hello my friends, and welcome back to our math class once again. Today we're going to be talking about division topics once more, and today we're going to be calling this lesson using estimation to check, how you like my check? Using estimation to check division calculations. And I call it calculations because we are only going to be focusing on the way that we actually solve division problems, not necessarily word problems involving division. I want you to keep that in mind. So using estimation to check division calculations. Previously to this, okay, we have talked about how we can check whether or not our answers were correct when we have a division problem. For example, if I have 382 divided by 2, and I went ahead and divided that. 3 divided by 2 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract, get a 1, bring down the 8. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 2 times 9 is 18. Subtract, and we bring down that last 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Now I have no remainder, and I'm done with my division problem. How could I have checked that? Well, we talked about inverse operation, which means that I can multiply the 2 and the quotient, which is 191, to find my original number or dividend of 382. So let's see if that's true. 191 times 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 9 is 18. Regroup the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. And there's my dividend once more. But in the case of what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be doing it slightly different. However, the same idea is your answer reasonable or within the area that it should fall in, so that you can check, yep, this answer is correct. So we're going to estimate first, and then we're actually going to do it. Okay, let me show you. Let's say you have the number, 2,871, okay? And we're going to divide 2,871 by 9. Let's say that that's what we're doing. Okay, no big deal. It's a little blurry there, but you can kind of see it. 2,871. All right, so we have 2,871 being divided by 9. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to estimate the potential quotient that I could get by simply estimating using multiplication or using friendly numbers. I'm going to think 9 times what would give me close to something that looks like this number. So I'm going to say, maybe I can round this to the next friendly number, which could be 3,000. Okay, that could be 1. I can also say maybe 9 times something smaller would give me closer to a friendly number that's part of this family. Maybe I can say 2,500. So I kind of have a ballpark figure. Because I know that my number 2,871 is closer to this than it is to this. Do you see that? Do you see how 2,871 is closer to 3,000 than it is to 2,500? So we're going to use estimation to get there. We're going to say, I could probably change this number to a friendly number, 2,700, because I know 27 is in the fact family for the 9s. So I could say 9 times 300 would give me not 3,000, but this number right here, 2,700. But that's slightly less than this guy. Okay, the next friendly number for 9 times anything would be 9 times 4. So I'm going to do it here. 9 times 400. That's my next fact family. Well, that one's going to be 3,600, which is way over my estimate where I'm trying to get to, which is 2,871. So between these three numbers, the closest one that comes to 2,871 is this one. But notice that 2,871 slightly bigger than this one. So my answer is going to be slightly bigger than 300. Do you see that? Slightly bigger than 300 because my product is slightly bigger than that. And so when I divide it, I should come up with something up here that's slightly higher than 300. So let's try it. Okay, here we go. Let's divide. We've estimated and we're going to say it's about 310. Let's say that. Let's estimate 310 just to be safe. It should not be 3,000 and it shouldn't be 31. Do you see that? All right, so here we go. I can't really divide 2 by 9, so I'm going to hug it and call it a 28 and say 28 divided by 9, and the closest immediately that I come to is 3. So 3 times 9 is 27. 28 minus 27 is 1, and I bring down my 7. New dividend of 17. 17 divided by 9. I cannot divide it and say a 2 because it's 2 times 9 is 18 is over 17, so I have to back it up to the factor before that, which is 1. 9 times 1 is 9, and when I subtract, I get an 8. Okay, now I'm going to bring down this 1, and ooh, it's getting close. It's getting close to my 310 prediction. Let's see what happens here. I bring down the 1, and I have 81 divided by 9 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81 with a 0 remainder. We were pretty close, 310 to 319. So my actual answer is 319, which is what we had estimated to be close to 310. Okay, let's do another one just so you can understand what it is that we're trying to do. Let's say, and you can do it with me as I'm doing it so that you can kind of practice, okay? Let's try this one. What if I had a number like 3,248, and we said, let's go ahead and divide that by 8, okay? What are some of the ways that you can estimate what the quotient up here is going to be? Let's think of fact families in the 8s and something that gets close to 32. Well, I have 8 times a number, and the fact family before 32 will be 2,400. Then there's also another one, 8 times a fact family, 3,200. Ooh, that's looking like it. And then the next one, 8 times another fact equals 4,000. Which one do you think will come closest to it? Well, I think the one that would get me closest will be this one right here. And how do I use basic facts to help me with that? 8 times basic fact equals 32. Oh, I remember basic fact is 32, but my answer has 2 extra zeros. So that means that this factor must also have 2 extra zeros. So notice though that my answer here, my product, is exactly 3,200 or 3,200. But this one, this dividend is slightly bigger, which means that this quotient is going to be slightly bigger than 400. Okay, so I'm going to estimate to be about 400. That's what I'm going to estimate at. Let's see if we hit our goal. Here we go. 32 divided by 8 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32. Subtract, bring down the 4. We ran into a little bit of a snag here because 4 is less than 8 and I cannot divide that, but I could put a place value holder here and go ahead and say 0 times 8 is 0. Subtract, get a 4, and now I can properly bring this 8 down and say 48 divided by 8 is 6. 6 times 8 is 48. Subtract, and I get a 0. Now, remember we estimated 400? Look how close we were. Now, if you got a 40 for an answer, you know you did this improperly. Or if you got a 4,000 as a quotient, then you know you did it improperly. So the idea is that you know more or less what you're going to get before you get started. Okay, so let's practice doing the real worksheets that you're going to be doing today. The 2 worksheets that you need to have in front of you are going to be page 445 and 447, front and back. So I'm going to do front and back. front and back. I'm going to work with you on the hardest one so that you can kind of see the process, and then I'm going to let you practice on your own, okay? So you should have pretty much enough practice to do it. All right, go ahead and get the pages started, and the next video will have more details. 445, 447. See you soon.